And hello everyone, welcome to the second round of the lower bracket. We're going to have a very exciting match today. We're going to have Save the Last Dance for us up against the Mentees. So Kachar's team against Thunder Horse's team. I think this is going to be a really exciting one to watch. Whoever loses will be eliminated, and with me is Timillion. Hi Tim.
Hello.
Yeah, I quite like that. Like, usually, I think from what I understand, you want to go T2 Terran against the Protoss that's before you. So when the Protoss is hitting the bunker, the Planetary Fortress, you can stack some libs, and then the Zerg catches you. Life should be great. Some interesting development we might see, like maybe Kachar. He is one to kind of know these things and expect them, and he kind of like works around them. And so he makes strategies that look like a weakness kind of favorable for him. So I think it's going to be really interesting. Let's see what they decide to do. Here, spawning on the top right, we have Save the Last Dance for us. So Kachar, Shadow Sonic, and Magoo. Up against the Mentees at the bottom with Thunder Horse, Andre, and Drum. Okay, so starting off from Thunder Horse, Roachling, very standard. T2, very likely. Let me put production. Yeah, so T2 from Thunder Horse, very standard. He's gonna go Ravagers with some Lings. And Shadow Sonic going for Protoss. I quite like that, actually. He was a main Protoss player. The reason why he doesn't really play that much Protoss is because he has other Protosses on his team, but Magoo's a Terran, Kachar can play anything, and so I think Shadow is open to picking Protoss, and I'm interested to seeing what he could do with it.
Okay, let me see. The bottom team is playing tier 1 on tier 2 on first line, and standard tier 3 on third line. So their plan is probably to just push and never get pushed back and win. Because if they get pushed, I don't really see a efficient way to stack back. Oh wait, no. Actually, Drunks is going for too.
Some sort of somewhat decent bios, right? Like they landed on submarines, but not enough. Yeah. The bio has the advantage for the first waves. No Marauders though, so barely any damage on the cannon from those Marines. Let's see how this is gonna work, because there's some Marines in front of the Marauders. You really want the Marauders to tank the Adepts, and that's not gonna happen with this formation.
I actually like this. Trunks went for the I gonna get you bitch build. With the...
That wasn't a bad siege, but he didn't really scan, so he couldn't really get the pre-siege that he needed. He got a siege on top of the Marines. And so that's not gonna work out that well. There's also Stalkers.
Oh,
oh my god. One Marine and one Reaper.
That shouldn't happen. So great. I don't know if it was a read out of Magoo or if Kachar told him to do that, but it was great that he went for Marines, because Drunks went for the build where you sell the Marauders and go into Libs.
So yeah, a little bit of a mind game there, but it not sure if it paid off or not. The bottom team kind of realized that the top team had no T2, and so Thunder went for one Lurker. Now, I think the top team... Yeah, go ahead.
Lurker's doing work right now.
Yeah, but I think like the top team is gonna have
just damaging, not killing anything.
It also has like a little bit of vision for the Marines, for the Libs to be able to pre-siege, so that's very nice. But I think the top team now is gonna get the scan on time, and the Lurkers are not gonna be as strong now. But then that's
double attack.
Like that's barely any Ravagers. It's so little.
And to attack on Charles Marines, they just gonna stun through that and damage Andre.
Look at this, dude. These are +2 Marines. These are no joke.
Hmm?
Nice bandana. Yeah, I have a beanie on. It's a very easy and convenient way to not have to do your hair. Just put a hat on top. Some awkward sieges there from Drunk. Some of the Liberators went flying forward, not really sieged perfectly there. And you can see the big difference that Magoo's Marines completely cleared everything, and the one Raven helping out as well. Now Thunderhorse is going to have a really hard time. The Lurker that he went for isn't going to be contributing that much to the fight anymore. Because ideally, Lurkers shoot in a single line, right? And if you look at Kachar's army, it's not in a single line. It's like completely spread out. So the Lurker isn't really going to get a lot of AoE damage, and it's really expensive, right? Like to justify getting it. I think the bottom team is gonna have a huge issue because their cannon died so quickly. And Andre kind of revealing that he's going T2 for some reason.
Well,
this must be a mistake, right?
I thought you can't see the animation anymore.
Oh, you can?
I thought you couldn't not. I thought they fixed that you can't see the animation. Like even if you scan, you can see it, right?
Whoa, that's a very early thief. T3 from Magoo. Magoo's already going for T3.
Yeah, Trunks also has tier 3.
That is crazy fast.
Yes. So finally Trunks switched on the right side, which I like because Thunder's on the right side. And Shadow also, he just skipped tier 2 tag and instantly went for tier 3. So he's just gonna get carriers out, I think. Just gonna try to deny the stack from Trunks.
But still no scan from Drunk to really siege forward. Okay, there we go.
There's Thor's on ready.
Yeah, but I'm not sure the Thor is going to be able to prevent the Libs from stacking. The Mute is already here. They catch up to the Libs. And now this is a lot of Libs, man. 7 Libs are going to survive until the next wave. Is Kachar going to be ready? He does have +2 attack, but the army from Thunderhorse is very small. And Kachar has so many Marines. You can look at the Mutas just completely disappeared. But is this enough Marines to clear the Libs? This Lib is going to have to re-siege. Siege? No! Where are you going?
He's going on an adventure. And now the carrier's out, but there's just not enough Protoss to support the carrier.
That carrier is very early, I think, because there's no army.
Okay, Kachar all going tier 3 now, so top team, all of them are tier 3.
That's very early, man. It's not even 8 minutes into the game and the whole team is gonna be T3. Oh, and that siege, that's not a very good siege from Drunk, I don't think. But it...
He lost more Libs than he is supposed to, but he's gonna clear. Another scan, maybe?
Okay, now the Mutas are gonna catch up though. Yeah, go ahead.
Lib siege on one spot. I don't like that. I would have liked them a little bit to spread out more, because now the Marines just come in from the sides and clean everything up.
Yeah, that ends up being a huge difference. But again, Shadow Sonic's army is very small. Andre has 2 Ravens, so that is going to completely disable the carriers and the Archons. The
No
hallucinations.
manual Matrix though, because one of the Matrix landed on the Stalker. So carrier get half of the value they're supposed to.
Okay, now a pre-siege. I like this a lot more. And 3 armor, so these Marines are gonna do no damage. They're just tickling down the Liberators. The Liberators just have to re-siege on the store, and it's gone. It's already gone.
Anti-armor? No anti-armor? We have a classic readout here.
I think Reed is watching. Hi, Reed.
Yeah. I read.
Okay, and now the army from Kachar is completely cleared. The Liberators from Drunk just too powerful. It's 6 libs with +3 armor. The Marines from Kachar just can't deal enough damage to clear it. And the very small army from Shadow is getting even smaller now. And these carries are gonna go down. This bunker is gonna go down as well. That's just too many Marines. That's like 35 Marines.
Magoo actually moved back. I don't understand why. Because on who are they stacking now?
I'm not sure. I'm very curious to see what the follow-up is gonna be for Drunk after all these mass Liberators. And it looks like he's just adding Ravens now.
I would actually like to see Marauder Thor mix. Because what is gonna threaten you when you're in a 1v1 situation right there? It's like most likely the Thors and the Ravens and eventually the Liberators. So you just kind of prevent that with Marauder Thor. Maybe honorable mention to Sux, a tank. Okay, Andre knows how to use anti-armor. Nice.
What's the comeback strategy right now for the top team? I don't see how they can come back from this.
I don't actually know on who are they planning to stack right now, because Guitar is front, he has the Liberators, Shadow is back, he has the Carriers, but the person after Shadow has Thors and is also back.
Dude, look at this. These Liberators, even though they have the anti-armor reduction, they had the anti-armor missile on them, they all still survived against a clump of Marines. That's crazy. Liberators OP. Okay, these kind of looked like auto sieges from the libs, but still very good. Thunderhorse is even getting Corruptors now, which are very nice against the carriers.
Okay, I would imagine they are trying to stack on Magoo here, but they don't know if that's actually the right call here.
Okay, but Drunk getting a BC, what do you think about that?
I do not like this against already 4 Thors out, and now the unlucky Unsiege could maybe save 1 or 2 Thors.
Yeah, but look at the insane amount of damage these Liberators are doing anyway. They just do not care. And now Thunderhorse has enough mutas. Yeah, there's not enough Marines to clear the mutas, not enough Widow Mines, not enough anything. The mutas are just standing strong there. Man, Liberators with 10 kills, 13 kills, that's just another day of direct strike. Liberators getting insane value.
Liberators liberating. How many Liberators are this on? 8? 12. Also 12 Liberators.
And these are 12 plus 3 armor libs.
Plus 2 attack.
I mean, plus yeah. Does the attack make a difference against doors?
Yes.
Well, how do the numbers look against the doors?
Well, I don't know if it particularly changes something against about the actual shots they're needing to kill.
Oh, actually, but 1 second. These are just Ravagers and these are doors. Yeah, like Thunderhorse has no Ling. I would really like to see Thunderhorse get some Ling Bane. He just went straight Ultra. And I think that's a little bit greedy, but the army from Shadow Sonic might just be too weak. Andre has 1
Those
Thor
are
out.
plus 3. No, those are plus 3 attack carriers, and those are only plus 2 armor. Ah, okay. The Ravens are here to save the day, apparently.
Yeah, the Ravens just completely deny the DPS of the carriers, and so the carriers are just flying flying rocks.
Okay, next time on ladder when I'm fighting Skytals, I'm just gonna go Mass Carriers, Mass Raven. Fuck. Okay, the Lips on siege again. Like Drunks didn't has the precision. Oh my god, my English. To siege exactly on the spot where the Liberators don't need to unsiege to.
Yeah, this is starting to be a huge issue because Thunderhorde still has no Ling Bane, so he has no real way to deal with the Thors. And just Ravagers are really awful against Thors, right? And Corruptors as well. They also don't deal with the Thors, so the Thors are starting to stack. The only issue that the top team has is that the bottom team has so much more mineral than them. Like,
but now the carrier, the Ravens are dead, and now you see how carriers just shred through Marines. That's just not pretty. Okay, anti-armor, nice. Getting insane value.
Yeah, so we didn't know how the top team was gonna get back into this game, but they showed us how through the power of Thors.
The power of Thors and
yeah, Thunderhorse was just not able to clear the Thors on time.
Unlucky resieges. I feel like if Drunks in this particular wave didn't need to unsiege, he could have killed all the Thors that were critical in Berserk versus Terran wave. But let's see if they can just restack again on
that is very true. They always have that restack potential on the Liberators because it is against the Protoss.
Yeah, now you see that Shadow just doesn't have any ground, right? He has what, 8 adepts, 8 stalkers, and 2 sentries. That's nothing.
Yeah, so the Liberators are kind of forced to go on that anti-air versus anti-air battle against the carriers, and that's definitely not a fair fight.
Yes.
But yeah, there's just not enough Ling. There's not enough distraction for the Thors. There's no Muta, no Ling to really make the Thors do next to no DPS. Thors have a lot of range and DPS, but if they're stuck over killing Lings and Mutas, then you kind of deny some of that attack.
Okay, and that's a huge wave coming into Nexus. I don't know if the Nexus can actually survive this. No.
Yeah, dude. And even if
there's
the Thors,
no way.
Yeah, there's more Thors. GG.
Wow.
Save the Last Dance for us takes game number 1. Out of what looked like a shaky mid-game, like a very good start. Shaky mid-game, but it seemed like they had a plan all along. All 3 of them were T3 by minute 8. That was crazy.
Yeah. Nah, Guitar actually cancelled.
Okay, so on the top, we have once again Save the Last Dance for us. So it's going to be Kachar, Shadow Sonic, and Magoo up against Drunk, Andre, and Thunderhorse. A lot of T2s all around. 4 players going for T2.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wild. So only the middle lane is not going T2. So it seems like I was very wrong. Andre is gonna go pure bio against the Protoss. Not enough happening just yet. Okay, we're gonna have this weird interaction where Shadow Sonic build on the corner and so the Thunderhorde, so their armies are gonna meet in between the cannon and Nexus.
Okay.
And I think this is... I'm not sure who this is gonna favor. Okay, some Hellbats from Magoo.
Trunks is going bold. He's going against tier 2 against Guitar, and that's a bold move. Like that's something you need to have the balls for.
Yeah, he must have drank a lot of alcohol to have this level of confidence.
Kachar just building nothing for his first tier 2 wave. Seeing now the Liberators, so technically he could just make Mass Ravens, because then the Libs have no value. What he is doing.
Okay, and
Exactly how I
Andre's,
predict.
yeah, Andre's gonna dominate against Shadow Sonic right now. Any sort of leak just completely destroys the Protoss early advantage.
Yes.
Okay, and Magoo's going for that Hellbat Widowmine style. We've seen this style a couple of times for if you're a Terran against the Zerg, then you can kind of make Hellbat Widowmine and force a certain response from the Zerg so that your next Terran can try to stack whatever he wants to stack. And it looks like Kachar is going to try to stack Ravens. Okay, Kachar saves the energy on the Ravens. Now let's see how this is going to go.
Welcome to TVT 2023.
Yeah, weak Raven
Pretty
turrets.
exciting, right?
Yeah, Lib Raven versus Lib Raven.
Oh, the Matrix on the Liberator.
Oh, and I think Andre's wave had to clear some leak. That's actually pretty devastating. It looks like his army is all stemmed up. And 2 Ravens from Kachar are still alive, but they have no energy to use the turrets. Yes,
Oh,
yeah. Okay, there we go.
Char not siege. It's a rare occurrence. Char missing a siege. Clip all. You all need to clip that in the chat. We need like at least 30 clips of that.
Yeah, we gotta replay that. Every time we lose to Kachar, it's like, yeah, but remember that one time you forgot to siege to Libs? I have it right here, so I can remind you.
I feel like Jersel in the chat is already clipped that.
Okay, some more Lib Raven versus Lib Raven. But actually, Drunk is gonna get the better side of this engagement. And now with those Ravens, they really help out the Terran against the Protoss, because those hallucinations are just completely useless, and the whole bio army of Andre is still here.
Yeah.
And Hellbat Widowmine does not trade well against bio either, so this is gonna push very hard.
But Magoo already with the tier 3, so obvious afterpart is the Thor now.
There's nothing to stop this Zerg from ravaging this bunker. Yeah, this bunker is definitely gonna go down, so now the advantage goes to the bottom team.
Actually, I have a replay where Char completely missed one siege. Like all of the sieges.
Nice. We gotta make a montage.
Yeah. Like a Char fails montage. It's gonna get us 1 million views on YouTube.
We can share it with Tia,
Yeah.
so Tia can put it in the daily videos.
And Winter, like Winter makes a video, greatest direct strike player ever, fail montage.
Love it. Okay, so Thor already out from Magoo, but this is kind of a ragtag army of leaks now. It's not really a full army against Thunder, and Thunder already has all the different units that he needs. He has the full range of Ravager, Hydra, Muta, Infestor, so he just has a little bit of everything, which is extremely nice. Fungal, man, those Fungals, they're just so strong. And look at the follow-up from Drunk. 2 Vikings, that's very interesting, because Shadow has no air units has no Phoenix to really catch the air units of Kachar. So those Vikings are gonna land on some Ravens, they're gonna land on some Libs. And they're really gonna prevent the stack. Oh, those Widow Mines! They're just landing on the bio really well. I would like to see Andre get maybe some higher army complexity, so some higher tech units.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some Ravens. Okay, but now Kachar is actually getting the dream wave that he wants, very likely. wants to get those libs and siege on the Planetary Fortress. He's gonna keep sieging and re-sieging as much as he possibly can to buy as much time as he can. Okay, and now Shadow Sonic's wave is already here. And he's gonna get the pre-siege. But Shadow Sonic has nothing to stop really those Vikings from killing these Liberators. All the Ravens will down. And the Vikings are just...
All the Stalkers just get matrix. There's one Stalker just shooting.
Yeah, there was really no anti-air there for Shadow. He only had Adepts, which weren't really great at protecting the Lib Ravens.
Oh, those mines didn't get one shot off.
Okay,
The problem with Gachar is he can't really stack on Drunk's army because it's just not tier. Like, it's just not a ground heavy army.
Okay, now we have the BC, we have some libs, we have some stuff that he's gonna try to stack. The BC is gonna be very powerful at protecting the libs, but the BC is chilling behind the libs. All the libs went down before the BC actually protected them, so kind of a traitor BC there.
Yeah, but what I would like to see is Drunk selling his 4 Marines and 1 Reaper so Gachar can't siege on them.
That's a good point.
Ooh, the Widow Mines. Killed 1 Raven, let's go.
Actually, this is a lot of Marauders and Vikings on the ground, and the Planetary Fortress doesn't have that much HP. The Marauders are still going strong. 92 HP, that's very close. And Gachar is kind of trying to use the Planetary Fortress's health as a resource, trying to stack those libs, but he doesn't get that many more chances. The Ravagers didn't bile down the PF. It's gonna stay alive a little bit more.
Weren't right.
Okay, now Phoenix and Carrier from Shadow. This is gonna be a very solid attempt now at trying to stack. The interference matrix goes down on the Ravens. Sorry, on the Phoenixes, not on the libs. Oh, no, never mind. He has enough interference matrix for the BC, for the libs, for the Carrier, for everything.
For everything.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like it's just gonna be a matter of time before we're tied up.
This bio is just gonna stim over, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Thor against Bio is just not a fair fight, and the Marauders are now gonna siege on the Planetary Fortress. It's gonna go down, and GG is called. The Minties take game number 2, tying us up to 1-1.
So I'm pretty sure I know what the Z and the P are gonna do, right? Unless Shadow decides to do something crazy. But which Terran do you think is gonna tier 2? You think it's gonna be Drunk again, or do you think maybe they'll let Andre try his hand?
Well, we don't have to guess because luckily we're already in the game and we already see the players going T2. So we do have Andre going for T2 here.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
Gachar is the one that's gonna go T2.
Yeah, I was actually kind of hoping to see that. I think that given that Drunk did a good job in the previous game, the top team might assume that Drunk will be tier 2 again.
Well, Drunk already played it twice in a row. I think that
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Drunk went T2 twice in a row, so I do think that's gonna signal to the top team that they have to, for some reason, expect that.
For sure, yeah.
And then they're not. The bottom team is not revealing their hand just yet. They both went for a very 1 unit in each corner safe opener, not revealing what they're actually gonna do, so they're hiding their strategies.
Sure, yeah. I'm kind of interested. It's funny that Magoo went full Marine, not knowing. But, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Okay, Thunder's opted to go for more of a mass Ling style. Interesting.
Yeah, but you can see Shadow's blinks are pretty good, I would say, but he's going to be catched by libs. So libs are not very good at protecting the stalkers. You can see that all the stalkers go down.
Yeah, for sure. Bit of a dual-edged sword. So the Liberator might not protect the Stalker all that good, but now he doesn't have Bio to be fungal, so
Yeah, but Kachar was not. Kachar was
That's
not
sad.
caught with his pants down. He didn't go for Ravens. He went for Libs this time.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
Andre
Yeah, I missed
also.
a good amount of the first game, so I'm not 100% sure what happened.
Yeah, it was a very
Okay.
interesting game where the top team had the very early game, and then the mentees had all the mid game, and then suddenly, out of the back of some Thor stacking, they got the game and turned
The
it
win.
around at
That's
the late
cool.
game. It was a very interesting game where Shadow Sonic had like, they were all T3 by minute 8, and they had like, I think Shadow Sonic had like 6 or 7 carriers, but by like the 15-minute mark was crazy.
Sure, well. So it turns out the answer to how is Andre's tier 2, it's pretty good. He beat full Marine, so
Yeah, but
kind of hard to complain about that.
I'm not sure how Thunder is beating Stalkers with just Lings. There's no ranged unit, there's nothing.
Yeah, well, on that previous wave, I saw Shadow blink forward to try to kill the Libs, so the Zerglings kind of had an easy time with it.
Let's see. Okay, these Reapers are gonna help out Andre a lot. You can see the bounce back really negates a lot of the damage from the Terran, so it doesn't heal, but you can kind of negate the damage. That also counts as healing, right?
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, this is among the reasons why. I don't know, in TVT, I think you're almost just required to go tier 2. Like, I don't see ways to fight with just Marines. Like, it just never works. In my experience. I don't know. I could be wrong. But the games that I've played have shown me that you kind of just need tier 2. Okay, so 3 Stalkers live this time.
Yeah, these Libs are gonna get their chance to siege on the bunker, so they are very likely going to survive. There's no way these Marines are gonna clear these Libs. They have +2 armor. The bunker itself also has +1 armor.
Yeah. The Liberator Kachar manual unsieging to make sure his libs are right up there with the bio. And now he's gonna get that lib DPS to help the Marines out.
Yeah, but I don't think this is gonna be canon. Although these Libs are really good against the Mutas.
Yeah, they are. I'm a little surprised he made Muta this early on, but you know, I don't know.
Okay, and you can see that Shadow Sonic already feels very comfortable. He thinks he can push because he's adding Zealots, and when you're adding Zealots, you're saying like, okay, I want to get mid, kind of want to stack.
Yeah, I want to hold mid now.
I want to hold mid now. Yeah, exactly. Like that's what Zealots kind of signal. And
Yep,
these
for
are
sure.
a lot of Stalkers stacking with these Libs. You can see that the Stalkers kind of blinked back, but they stayed there for a while. They really tanked like a champ for those Libs.
Yeah. They do a really good job, especially with that +1 armor and +1 shields he already has for the Zerglings. So, yep, they're doing exactly what they need to do. Drunk did have +2 Marines for that wave, but there was just so many Stalker that it just didn't do enough.
Okay, but I can kind of see why Andre was going, sorry, Thunderhorse was going for so heavy mutas. It's because the next wave is Libs, right? He's trying to like stack there, do the
I do get it
TC
now, yeah.
stack. It kind
And this is kind of interesting. 2 Libs have lived, and all of the Muta didn't take damage from the opposing Liberator.
Yeah, but his army's so small, he's never going to be able to clear all those Stalkers. All those Stalkers get the chance to blink back, and they're going to stack up with the
Sure.
Liberators. Okay, and Drunk gets a single Viking.
Yeah. I don't mind it, you know, it'll sit there and pelt away at some Liberators, I don't know.
That doesn't sound very convincing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Viking DPS is just pretty bad, so I mean, it's not my favorite, but... I mean, maybe you could have gone for a Raven, cast an anti-armor missile. And that wave in particular, the Libs were kind of front, so it might have actually done pretty well. But
Okay,
yeah.
this
Okay,
is
Andre's on 2 armor as well now. We're gonna have a bit of a Lib war over here.
Yeah, but this was a very
Muted.
good wave, and now some of these Liberators are gonna survive. Let's see how Andre's
Yeah.
army is gonna deal with Shadow. The problem is these Lings are kind of falling asleep on the job. They're somewhere else right now. They're not on top of the Stalkers.
Yeah. And Thunder is paying attention. The Protoss has +1 attack, and he's already bought an armor to match the Zealots.
And now here's the big issue. I think all the Liberators are gonna siege right. Well, they're not close enough to the bunker where the bunker protects them just yet. And this Viking number, it's now up to 4. Magoo doesn't really have anything to catch. Like the Raven just kind of shielded back at the behind the Liberators there. So the Liberators went down to the Vikings.
Yeah, I think Andre is gonna clean this pretty easily with those Reaper. Yeah, Drunk's +2. I think Drunk went tier 2 at like the perfect time. He had +2 on his bio right when he needed to. Sometimes I find that players can make the mistake of trying to stay tier 1 for too long. They're really afraid, I think, to spend the 250 minerals, but he's doing good.
Yeah, and I really liked his Hydras from Thunderhorse. He kind of switched from Mutas to Hydras.
Oh my god, does Andre have tier 3? He does. Andre has ranged libs already.
Okay, but Andre now got +1 attack to deal as much damage as he can to Kachar's wave. And here comes Drunks, and Drunks is gonna clear, no problem. These Vikings are also gonna clear the Raven, so that's actually gonna make Magoo's wave very weak against his own.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, barely.
Turns out, I was getting ready to make fun of Drunk for his Viking play, but you know what? It worked out. Look at the difference between Drunk just adding Viking and Magoo going tier 3 for Thor. Right? The Thor just get cleaned up. Liberators, just their DPS is pretty strong.
Okay, now here comes the Mutas, and the Mutas do catch up the libs. Dude, these are 8 libs that are still alive. That's so many libs. Look at these, 9 kills. One of them has 0 kills, sleeping on the job.
Alright, and now he's just saying, you know what? I'm gonna, no, he's gonna stay on +1 attack with his limbs. I thought maybe he'd buy 2 here.
Yeah, I thought the same. I thought he was gonna get +2, but it doesn't even matter, dude. These Liberators, they clean almost all the Liberators from Kachar, and there's nothing to stop all these Vikings. They don't have to deal with the Marines. They don't have to deal with anything else. They just have to clean as much air as they can. And
yeah, really strong.
They didn't really clean everything, but
it's true. Okay, now Andre's playing it safe. He's got his own Thor. Yep, Thor cleans up the Liberator, and yeah, I gotta tell you, I'm not 100% sure what to do in the top schemes case, but this game looks like it's about to just be closed out. I mean, Andre is doing a good job with his micro, and he has the advantage of being ahead as well. And as long as he can control his wave and not lose it, I think the game just is going to just break in favor of the bottom team.
that is very true. And they do also have the gas advantage. They have middle. They took down the bunker. They have 3 gas to 0. Like every advantage is going in their favor. But man, you can't really ever count out Save the Last Dance for us. The first game they managed to make some Thor stacks, so maybe they can work some of that magic once again and make it work. But that PVC, man.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, it's funny. Thunder actually did a really good job in a very hard matchup. I would say I would love to see Magoo get +3 attack on his bio, since he is tier 3. And those +3 Marines do make a pretty big difference. You know, like in Andre's case, I can see him not getting bio upgrades because he just bought a couple Reaper to bounce the Marines around. He didn't really go heavy. But, you know, Magoo's got 2.5 lines basically of Marines, so.
Yeah, bio versus bio, you really want some upgrades. They're really helpful.
Yeah.
You never want to be a couple of upgrades behind your opponent.
Okay, Magoo is getting Thor attack. I don't know why he has the Thor armor here, but you know, I guess to each their own. Oh no, he doesn't have armor. Okay.
No, it's Andre, the one that has armor.
Turns out, I need to use my eyes. So.
Yeah, I like Shadow Sonic's army versus the Zerg, but the problem is that it's just so awful against the Terran, man. Like you're on
I know.
Stalker's, you're on Stalker Archon. You're like, yeah, I can kill Infinite Link Muta, but libs, like a couple of libs, and your army just dies like paper. It's like it's
Yeah, it's true. Even though like Liberator just get full value against Protoss, right? I feel like most of their shots aren't overkill damage like they are for most other like race matchups. So it's just really strong.
and Kachar is mass air. He has Vikings now, and but the issue is that Thunder Horse has Vipers, and those Vipers are landing their parasitic bombs on Kachar's wave. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how they're gonna be able to come back this game.
Yeah, I am not sure either, but
One lib there expired. That was interesting.
yeah, I mean there is maybe a world where Magoo can maybe he doesn't clear all of Andre, but he can kill enough libs that then Shadow Sonic can sort of really put the hurt on the Zerg wave. But as it stands, I mean like 7 libs is too many. He needs to cut that number down for them to have any chance.
Yeah, Andre not sieging. He does not care about the stalkers at all. He just wants his libs to go straight against
Yeah.
Kachar's libs.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I actually kind of like the Kachars making Viking over say like Thor. I
Yeah,
think that there's like a world where they can stack with Magoo and help him clear out the Liberator.
yeah, but how good are the Vikings against the leaking Zerg? Because the Vikings are very awful against mutas. They trade very poorly. And then the Zerg already has
good point.
Vipers. So the Zerg already has parasitic bombs. It just feels
Mhm.
like it's not gonna help you catch up in any way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like if the Zerg wasn't leaking and Kachar was just facing his wave, and yeah, I can see why the Vikings would be so strong. The Vikings kind of protect your libs against the other Vikings, but with mutas leaking, it's just awful all around.
Yeah. And the real problem for Shadow is like it would be nice if you could mix in some like Immortal to help him DPS down the Thor, and then he can blink on the Liberator. But I think if he adds Immortal, like he's kind of in a lot of trouble versus Zerg, right? So he's like a little bit limited in what he can choose for units without like completely hosing himself in his own wave.
Yeah, and you can see Kachar now trying to stack some Liberators on the Planetary Fortress, but the Vikings are going to deny most of the stacks.
Okay.
Some did survive.
Some do. I don't know if 3 lib is going to be enough, but with some really good sieges, you can put some DPS down on the Thor.
The issue is that Andre has about the same number of stores and even more libs.
Okay, I like that blink forward.
Oh my god, dude, look at these Liberators go. They just... All of the Protoss army gets completely murdered. Everything goes down to one Widow Mine. Got a lot of AoE. Okay, and Ultras are starting to come out from Thunder Horse. These Ultras, man, they really hug the Planetary Fortress very hard, and it usually dies very quickly.
Yeah, it's nice that that one BC kept all the Viper back for quite a while. Okay, so he's gonna have maybe 4 libs this time. That's one more than he had last time. We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
It's not gonna be enough. There's no way. Look at this. Andre is already adding Marauders. He has so many Marauders. The Thors just have absolutely no chance. They get obliterated. And now here comes Shadow's Wave, but Shadow Wave is getting greeted by a lot of libs. Even Viper abducts and the libs. Man, this must be
I know,
feeling
I was
so
gonna
good
say.
right now. Yeah.
So brutal, he's even gonna save libs with Viper. But I mean, that's what they want to do. They want to just try to hold advantage and not get lazy about it. Alright. I mean, I really do see a world where if Kachar can save enough Liberator, then this game might actually look very different, right? Because if he can DPS down the opponent's Thor, then
But the issue is that it's not just Thors, right? Like, he has a lot of libs as well. He has a lot of Marauders and Reapers. Look at all the Thors from Magoo just completely dying very quickly. Nothing gets the ability, the chance to stack. Okay, maybe some Lips are actually going to survive, but is Thunder Horse's army big enough to clean all of this?
I mean, it depends. Funny part is because Thunder added Ultra, there's actually something now for the Immortal to shoot at. so that's a thing. But Kachar's Liberator did a good job killing Hydralisk there. I definitely don't mind that.
I think the issue is that
now we're gonna find out.
Oh, the Vipers didn't get the chance to. Dude, the Vipers didn't get their chance to use their parasitic bombs. That's actually huge. I was gonna say, like, as long as those 3 Vipers pull off their parasitic bombs, and there's still a chance. But no, the Vipers didn't get that. The Vikings sniped them from afar, and now Kachar's wave, it's gonna link up with Magoo's, and this is not enough. That's enough Marines to distract all the Marauders. The Thors are still alive. The Thors from Andre are going down. The Libs are gonna go down, and this is looking really good for the top team. Now, they're not back in the game just yet. The bottom team has 6 gas to the 0 gases of the top team, and the bottom team also has bunker advantage. So there is a lot of small advantages for the bottom team. They still have a lot more money than their opponents, but it's looking pretty good for them right now.
Yeah, this is true, but I will say that the Zerg's Viper are not going to help out a lot in the ZVP. So he does have a lot of money that was tied up in trying to hold the advantage that now aren't going to help them retake mid.
Yeah, but the Vipers do help stacking a little bit. So if maybe Thunder Horse can stack with Andre and pull some of those units, some Liberators or Doors, and abduct them into safety, then maybe that could be the saving grace. But man, the bio from Magoo is just really coming in clutch here, because Andre does not have a really good answer against the bio. He went so Marauder heavy, so Reaper heavy that he doesn't have enough units to clear the bio of Magoo.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny, because Kachar has a Viking advantage, you can really see how he just pushes through his enemies, the enemy Terran air, right? And so it's they're now like sort of pushing across mid, which is bad for the bottom team, but on top of that, he's really denying their chance to stack any libs of their own. So
no siege from Drunk's Liberators are just going forward into their deaths. No siege, no help killing these stalkers. That was a really bad couple of seconds there. That should be a lot of stalkers that shouldn't. There's a lot of stalkers there that shouldn't be there whatsoever. Now these libs from Kachar are gonna get their chance to siege on the libs from Andre, and Andre's is having the issue that
the Vikings are just cutting everything down too.
Yeah, now the Thors are focusing on bio, and that's never a good moment, right? Like usually you want your Thors protected by some Marines, some Marauders, some Reapers.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this game is just it's spiraling a little bit out of control, and I do like Shadow Sonic, his decision to go for some Templar. I think that given how much Muta and Zergling he was facing, I think that that's a pretty strong choice.
Even the feedback, right, against the Viper, it's actually very solid.
Yeah, that is a really good point. Yeah, just denying their ability to really get their value.
Okay, but we really need to see some dream sieges out of Andre. I'm not sure if they're there quite yet. A lot of the Liberators are going down. The Vikings from Kachar was saying they traded very poorly against the Mutas, but now they're not against the Mutas. Now they're against the Lips and Ravens. They're trading absolutely beautifully. No army from Andre survives for Thunder Horse to be able to abduct and stack with.
Yeah, and now I think Magoo's making a good decision as well. He's starting to add Widow Mines. I think that'll give him like maximum amount of pain on the Zerg, and just ensure that they're gonna have a hard time pushing through on the ZVP. So if this game's gonna be pushed back, it's gonna happen. You know, for the top team, I imagined it was gonna happen on the ZVP wave. For the bottom team, I think it's gonna have to happen on one of the Terran waves. I mean, I don't see a world where Zerg will be able to preserve enough of their units and like really crush through the Protoss. I mean, I guess maybe if they have enough Liberators with them, but man, Kachar's doing such a good job denying the Liberator stack. He's just all of those Liberators die, you know, between Thor and Viking.
Some Javelin Thors coming out of Andre. He just, yeah, I'm not sure why he has those Javelin Thors. Very interesting there. But I would really like to see Andre trying to stack those libs and maybe adding some Vikings of his own to help protect his own libs.
Yeah, you know, I think you're right there, because I think their only real chance is Zerg's never gonna have enough of their wave left over. They just sort of need the help of Liberators to DPS down Protoss.
Yeah, but that isn't a like that's a very real possibility, right? There's a very high likelihood that some libs stacking. Maybe you have like 5 or 6 libs, and suddenly the Protoss army completely gets wiped out, and the Zerg can clear no problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially given how much Archon they have, it's a big deal.
Yeah, but these sieges haven't been really great right now.
Yeah,
He's gonna
Drunk.
need some, yeah, he's gonna need some better sieges.
I don't know if Drunk is like a little distraught by how the game turned, but he seems distracted. His sieges aren't super crisp. Not like they were earlier, anyway.
Yeah, there's just nothing for Thunderhorse to try to save. Everything is dead. And we're approaching
I
the
know, look at
25-minute
all
mark.
of these- I know, multiple colors of Viking, multiple colors of Thor. You know, all of
Yeah,
this anti is surviving and wrecking.
and the gas advantage is starting to die out. Now the top team is starting to equalize the mineral advantage. It's 4-6, 4-7 now. Actually, is the bottom team gonna try to win on minerals?
They could. I mean, well, actually, yeah, because they held mid probably very close to 20 minutes.
You can
So-
see, you can see all of them going for a third gas.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
and even when they lost mid, they still had 2 gas each to 0 gas on the other team, so it's not even like the other team had a real mid income advantage. So I could see a world where it happens.
Okay, now we're at the 25-minute mark. 4 players now going for that T4. So we still have red and purple that have not gone T4.
Okay, 2 Liberators saved. I don't know if this is enough DPS against Protoss, but it's possible. I think it's gonna depend on these storms too. He's not using them. Okay, he used them.
Yeah,
I
and
was
you can
gonna
see
say,
that- dude, it's Storm plus Carrier Archon against Muta. The Muta they just completely
I
disappear.
know. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal.
I would really like to see Shadow maybe adding 1 or 2 more sentries. Just having that sentry guardian shield is so crazy.
Yeah, I agree. Ooh, those sieges, I don't know.
Actually, this trade is going pretty
this
well
is
for
really
Drunk.
close.
Yeah, that's a lot of Thors. No, never mind. Okay.
I mean, Drunk did good enough that for coming from behind, he cleared a lot. And I'm gonna tell you, like, Andre's sieges have been really strong. I think there's a chance he kills a lot of the enemy Thor here. I think there's a really good chance he kills a lot of the enemy Thor.
Yeah, but once the Vikings land on the ground, these Vikings are very good against mechanical units. Okay, maybe they
Like, you didn't land him.
It's very true. One Thor is gonna survive. Okay, and
One
Thunderhorse
Thor is
abducts.
gonna live.
Yeah, Thunderhorse abducts the Thor to make sure it stays alive. But
Man,
look at the storms.
those storms get so much value. Each of those Templar are easily killing like 800 minerals worth of enemy units, like at least.
Okay, and right now it is the gas count is 8-6. So the advantage is still for the bottom team, and they had mid for most of the game. I'm very curious to see if they're gonna try to maybe take the advantage. Like it feels like they're kind of trying to take back mid once again. So I'm not sure what the how
What's
much
gonna
are they gonna
happen?
commit to trying to win by minerals.
Yeah, I don't know. We could have just been, we could have just been living the caster dream and just like reading too much into the situation and hoping that they were about to try to 100 minerals. Oh man, all of the meter evaporate. It's insane. But yep,
Okay,
this is
a scan on purple reveals that he is third gas and the team indeed does ping it. So now the top team is aware. You can see that they all get a third gas
They
very
do,
quickly.
yep. Yeah, and if the bottom team doesn't try to max out their gas, like pretty much right now, I do not think they would have even a chance of trying to win on income. Yeah, Andre, I'd love to see Andre do something, anything to keep his Liberator alive, because while he is doing a really good job of putting like maximum pain onto Orange, I think it would help out more just having the Libs be alive for the Protoss wave. I think that that's really the big.
Yeah, I would
think
really like to
the
see him
only
maybe
avenue
get
is
Vikings, to be honest, or Ravens, or
Yeah,
something along
anything,
those
like,
lines. So something to keep
even like mines in the back, just anything to blow up the Viking, just get them out of there. I don't know.
Okay, now Lurkers from Thunderhorse, but the Lurkers aren't really that strong at this stage of the game, I believe. Like, they added a lot of damage, and especially if
True.
the
This
top
one is
team doesn't
alive,
scan
bro.
it. Yeah, there's no scan on the Lurker. It's got 6 kills.
I know, +3 Lurker, turns out. Oh, it's still alive, they're not scanning it.
Yeah, the Ravens are dead. There's no Raven from Kachar. So the Lurker is still
You're a
doing...
Lurker.
Dude, 10 kills on this Lurker. Oh my god, they're actually gonna turn the game around. Oh my god, I was talking smack about the Lurker, but the Lurker clearly proved me wrong.
I know, wow. Crazy.
Okay, now it has
That Lurker lived the dream. And
Yeah.
now Andre, who I think has had a good unit composition to take down Magoo, right? Even though he didn't necessarily have the same anti-air army and Viking that Magoo had, now he pushes through him, right?
Yeah,
And now it's a completely different game.
Look at the Archons just completely melting to the Thor Lib, and now Thunderhorse is gonna have to deal with kind of like a
Yep.
half the Protoss army, and the Zerg has no problem dealing with that. He has so many Hydras, man. Look at that.
Absolutely. Plus now all of Thunder's units don't clump. Like, he has his Zerglings and his Muta spread, and before they were all clumping up into one big mass, but that's not the case anymore, so the storms really aren't blanketing everything.
Dude, that one Lurker somehow turned the game around. Crazy.
I know, right? Imagine a game that was close enough that one Lurker turned the tide.
Yeah, I think it did so
just
much
saw it.
damage. Yeah, because I think it did so much damage to the Protoss that then the Protoss was able to get cleared, and then the next wave was able to get cleared. But if you take out the DPS of that Lurker, and the Protoss just has a lot extra HP, a lot of extra units, or maybe an extra High Templar or something.
Yeah, even the Stalker that it didn't kill, there were a lot of Stalker that it was splashing over, taking down at least half their health. It was really strong.
And the
And now
Zerg
you can see these storms just don't get the value they did. All the Muta and Zerglings, like...
Okay, the gas count is
they're
very
not just, like,
interesting.
sitting there.
You want to talk about the gas? Okay, never mind. Forget
Oh,
about the gas count. The
'cause-
Planetary Fortress just went down. GG is called. The Mentees take
GG.
game number
Yeah.
2. So they're
That was one of the better games I've seen in a while.
Yeah, they're one map away from moving on and surviving onto the lower bracket round of 3. And that would mean that Save the Last Dance for us would get eliminated. So must be feeling really good for them.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to do something tricky. The thing is, Kachar is one of those players who really understands the power of the Ravager. And I don't think he's going to make it easy. He's not going to overmake Bio, alright? He's going to do his best to make it as hard as he can to make those Ravager easy to micro and get full value. So we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah, and it's
My
Kachar,
opinion,
right?
anyway.
So we're kind of expecting not to see any libs, you know, flying around. Like we're kind of expecting good sieges coming out of him. So definitely not a Terran you want to play up against as a Zerg. We can see
Sure.
the game is starting on the top. We have saved the last dance for us, so it's Magoo, Kachar, and Shadow Sonic. And in the bottom team, we have Drunk, Thunder Horse, and Andre.
Okay.
Okay,
Looks
so
like Drunk and Thunder are both going tier 2.
sorry, we
So
have
this
a
is gonna
leader
be,
against leader, mentee against mentee, and experienced against experienced player.
Nice, nice. I'm kind of curious why they're double tier 2ing. I'm not. Oh wait, did Drunk finish? He did not finish. He canceled. Okay. I was like, there's one way that they could kind of throw what I would consider to be a decent advantage in this matchup, and that's by going to tier 2. I think would be
Oh, dude, look at this!
maybe unnecessary.
Wait, Reed, look at this. This is actually very important. If
What do
you
you got?
look at Magoo is Mass Marine, and Drunk is Marauder Reaper.
Oh wow.
That is actually
Yeah, it
going to
looks
be.
like Magoo might have been expecting Drunk to tier 2 again, and he's not. Yeah, that's gonna be rough. I will say that Drunk maybe has a little too much Marauder at this point for full Marine, so this wave and maybe next, I expect Magoo will actually take the fight, but as the game goes later and later, I'm gonna give a heavy advantage to Drunk in his lane. Oh, actually, wow. I guess Marauder too powerful.
Yeah, Marines. The DPS from Marine Reaper doesn't really do a lot against Marauders.
Yeah, it's true. I guess I would have liked to have seen Magoo by Stim, but whatever.
Okay, look at the one lurker. So the lurker is coming back for a second
Wow.
time. And there is
Thunder
no-
was like, "Hey, this worked out well last time." You know the funny part is, I don't think they have it. They don't have a tier 2.
Yeah, no, there is no T2 from the top team.
They made. Wow, can you imagine a world where top team says, "You know what? We're just all gonna tier 1 and try to take bunker real quick," and then tier 2, the bottom team just makes a lurker on wave 2. God, that's so rough.
That was a blind lurker, wasn't it? A little bit.
It was, yeah, that was a blind. He made that lurker. Dude, Thunder is I don't know, he's some sort of clairvoyant. He's the DS whisperer. He can feel it out.
Yeah, like I'm very curious to see like what prompted him to make the lurker. It's like, was he paying attention? Was there any key signs that he was looking for to make that lurker? Or did he just like say, yeah, like he just rolled the dice, you know? It's like lurker time, baby. It's just made a lurker.
I don't know. That's such a good question. I have to imagine that he must have seen something, but who knows? I mean, maybe
Okay.
he's just like a total Chad.
You can see that Kachar is now going for T2 because he barely has any units, and Thunder Horse clears the Marines no problem.
Yeah. It looks like Kachar was the one who went tier 2. Sorry, I already said that, but what I meant to say is, looks like he already has +2 attack on his bio. So, I guess he wants to try to recuperate some of the value for spending the minerals there, but
Okay, that was a very early scan. There's no hallucination, so that basically didn't do anything. Now there's one Stalker surviving, but look at the spread from Drunk. I think that spread is very good.
I think so too. But, I mean, Magoo does have Stim, so he's
Wait,
actually going to trade pretty well.
But
He
Drunk-
didn't have Stim during the previous engagements, and Drunk did buy it, but he didn't buy it right away, so the initial engagement, he didn't have it.
See, okay, now there's one lit, but Thunder Horse is kind of ready. He has an Infestor, but no Shroud. No Shroud coming. Okay, but the Liberator does go down. No
Sure.
Fungal either.
He's on +2 armor too, so he's really just going to sit there and just fight with the bio.
Okay, this Lurker, I think, is now outside of range of the bunker, so there is no
Wow,
detection.
he got a sentry.
And the scan is very late. That's a lot of damage on Shadow Sonic's army. Now the bio is gonna clear this no problem.
Yeah. Thunder's playing like a champion, man. I can't believe he sniped the sentry there. That's a high value target.
Well, I mean, his Ravagers are really good, you know? Thunder plays a lot of Zerg. Usually prefers to play the Zerg, and You can kind of see how his biomicro really being there.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, this is very dangerous for the bunker. That one Reaper is gonna push back, but that's a lot of Marauder sieging on the bunker. There's no way this bunker survives, and it goes down. And the bottom team, game number 4, if they win this one, they eliminate Save the Last Dance for us, and it's looking really good. These bios are gonna land on the Marines. There's barely any Marines
It's
left.
looking really good.
Yeah, these Mutas are gonna clear these libs, no problem, and he already has Ravagers as well. This is looking really bad for the top team.
The Infestor lived too, so he fungals the Adepts. Oh, is he gonna kill both Sentry? No, okay, one Sentry lives, but I mean, the Protoss' wave was split so badly it hardly matters. Well, now I think that, and look, oh, wow. Well, Andre's so confident he's already gassing. So, that's a thing. I guess I can't necessarily blame him, just given that, like,
Okay, good.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're ahead and your Protoss wave is being split, you can probably feel comfortable enough to gas.
Yeah, okay, so Kachar's is trying to siege his libs. The problem is that he's against Zerg. And Zerg just has such a nice time being able to deal with the libs, and because the Zerg has kind of like different tools to be able to deal with the libs. They have Mutas, they have Ravagers, they have the Infestor Shroud, which really makes a huge difference. One lib is going to survive, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. Sentry goes down as well.
And honestly, like, Stalker don't trade with Muta terribly well. Like, I'm not saying that Muta are better than Stalker, but it's not like a super one-sided fight. So the Muta trade really well with the Protoss.
Well, when you have a Muta clump that like is able to deal with Stalkers, like that one Lurker, yes.
He's got another Lurker, 8 kills, just doing his thing.
Yeah, I think with the Muta ball is big enough to be able to deal with the Stalkers. The issue with the Stalkers is like their DPS is so low against the Mutas, and the Stalkers are a lot more expensive than the Mutas. So the Mutas are very cheap.
75 versus 105.
Yeah, so I
full
think that
40 cheaper.
I would really like to see
30
Thunder go front now. I don't see any reason why his Mutas should be at the back.
Yeah, plus he hasn't bought Blink. So he's not blinking forward to save the Liberator.
I
think he should be laser focused on trying to save the Liberator. I don't think there's any chance he can defeat Terran without the DPS help.
We can see he's trying because he's getting Phoenix. So that is kind of his way of trying, but...
That's fair. That's fair.
Like, Drunk knows all he has to do is just add more Marines, more bio, and he's gonna be really good against Magoo's wave. There's no way Magoo... Like, it's gonna be a very hard time for Magoo to tech out of what he has. I don't think I've seen him go libs this whole game. This whole match. And so, if Drunk kind of already expects Magoo to be full bio, then he can just get bio of his own. He can just get bio of his own and he'll be ahead.
I'm curious. I don't know if I'm in, like, part of me understands why Thunder has his Muta split up, but I think at this stage in the game, I think it would be better if his Muta were forward. I think he's offering too much of a chance for the Kachar's libs to stack. I would be respecting Kachar's libs and throwing my Muta front.
I think like the issue is like he kind of wants them. He kind of want to deal with the Marines. So he wants to use the Ravagers to deal with the Marines before the Mutas
and then have the Muta come in after. Yeah, that makes sense.
But he's not facing his wave naked, right? Like it's usually like Kachar's wave is already clumped, it's leaked, it's half battered and bruised. So
usually his bio should be dead.
Yes, I wouldn't mind seeing the Mutas front now. I think it was good a couple minutes ago, but now...
Yeah. Okay, well, he got 2 sieges, so he's going to be really far back now. I would love to see a blink forward there.
Okay, this is going to be a very big stack now coming from Kachar. 5 libs are still alive. There's nothing attacking these libs. The Phoenix catch up and protect them. So now it's going to be up to Andre to be able to deal with all this leak. He's kind of like sieging around. I'm not sure what the libs are doing. They're kind of dancing.
Okay. That's a good number of libs. That was a really nice siege position.
Yeah, and the issue is
So-
that Drunk doesn't have a lot of marines, so I'm not sure how he's going to be able to deal with these libs.
Well, he managed to do it with anti-armor missile, so that's a thing. Now we'll see how much Kachar can kill with these 3 libs.
So I think
If it's going to be
Drunk-
enough to keep some of his bio alive.
Yeah, Drunk is. I don't think he's gonna be able to clear, or maybe he is. Actually, the Liberators didn't siege from Kachar. He was focused on sieging his new libs that he didn't siege his old libs, so they could have gotten even more value. Yeah, I don't know what to say here, man. I think that
Yeah.
was a very big window for them to try to stop.
I saw what he did. He turned off auto siege to micro the libs that were forward, and so his libs in the back. Oof. That's painful.
It's very hard to
But you
siege
know what?
2 different groups.
They'll
of
get more
libs.
chances. It's only minute 11. It's not the end of the world. They technically can still stack. It is going to become harder and harder the more libs that Andre adds. He's just going to start putting the door. He's going to start shutting the door on this game. With every Liberator that he manages to add. Okay, those are some good sieges out of Kachar. Gonna get the assistance of base to help him DPS down.
Okay, and these libs are gonna
And
help the
then-
libs from Kachar be able to stack, right? Like they
Yep,
kind of stood
helps
there for a
them back
little,
a little bit.
but yeah.
Okay, he scans forward, sieges his libs. There's already Viper out.
Shadow sold
Thunder's
all his
wasting
adepts.
his time. Thunder got tier 3, looks like at 11.5 minutes. He's really, you know, he's thinking ahead. He's making sure he doesn't let the game go by making too many lower tier units. And I guess, who knows, maybe Shadow Sonic's carriers can carry the day.
Well, that is 2 carriers stacking, but look at Magoo's army. It's half battered bruise. It's split apart from the carriers. It's already stemmed up. It all went down very quickly. Drunk just has
Yeah.
a huge bio ball and his own libs.
Yeah, yep, he's doing what he's got to do.
I'd like to see him get maybe some Vikings. Or some doors, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what Drunk needs. But he is winning this game right now, so who am I to say what he needs?
I'm not sure he needs much. So,
I'm not sure the libs are great
Yeah.
because there's barely any bio from Kachar, but
true. Now these Viking are getting a lot of value. I mean, sorry, Viper. These Viper are getting a lot of value.
libs from Andre just doing insane amount of damage to Magoo's wave. You can look at all the Marines being split from the Marauder Ripper. Yeah, so the Marines are just
Every
sitting at the
Liberator
back.
like more than pays for itself.
Yeah, the army split is just ginormous. Like, it makes such a huge
Yeah.
difference. Okay, we have a BC coming out from Kachar, so BC to try to help protect the Liberators.
Yep. See how these sieges are? They're pretty good.
Okay, so the BC actually warped front. So not a trade
Wow.
BC this time.
Thunder micros his Viper too, so he throws one parasitic bomb at a time. And just the splash damage kills the Liberator.
Okay, and he's saving 1 parasitic bomb. There we go. He uses it now on a Phoenix. Okay, this is a little big of an army comp, but the issue that Magoo has is that his army gets split up very heavily by the libs. The Marauder Reapers just walk forward. They face the army of Drunk first before anything else gets there. And so they're kind of dying in waves.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, and Kachar is adding
I'm-
BCs, but you can see that Drunk is already responding accordingly with his own doors.
Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why in general I favor the Zerg in the matchup over the 2 Terran and the Protoss is because I think that the Zerg just has like much better synergy with like trying to stack and come back, and Protoss, I at least in my opinion, just doesn't really have the same tools, and so he's doing his best to stack with Kachar, but the cohesion, to me, just isn't. It's not the same.
Well,
So-
the Protoss is supposed to get you the early game advantage, right? Like that's what the Protoss
Right. Yeah.
is there for. But it hasn't really achieved that this game. Like, it didn't achieve that at all this game, right? They haven't
Right.
had the early game, the mid game, or the late game. It's been completely in the favor of the bottom team.
Yes. Yeah.
And now they're
No,
getting...
that was an interesting fight. It was a little bit closer because Kachar had his 5 libs there, but
Yeah.
we'll
kinda
see what
get-
happens. Like Kachar,
We're kind of getting close to the
It
same
was
thing
small,
that
man.
happened last game, no? Like, where the bottom team
Yeah.
killed Bunker, they
Kachar
took
blinked
2 gas.
his BC forward, doing his best. Yeah. Thunder just has the Mira, he has Corruptor, he has Viper, he has the tools that he needs to really punish any sort of stacking potential. But I did like that micro out of Kachar. I thought blinking the BC forward, buying time against the Zerg was definitely the right call.
Yeah, I don't want to say the top team is out just yet, because that's what I thought the first game, and they kind of took it back somehow. So I don't want to
Sure,
count
yeah.
them out, but this is looking very bad, man. Like, I gotta favor the mentees. I think this is looking really solid, and if they win this one, that's it. They move on to the next round, and I think they're gonna do a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, I'm sure. The real problem for the top team is that they have like this weird like anti-stack going on where like even though they're behind, they have to push through Andre. And Andre, because he has all those Liberator now, he makes it extremely painful to do so. You know, he just he sieges up the libs, and like any sort of like it's just so punishing. Like, it's so punishing that they just have a hard time getting full army value through. And as long as he has a tough time getting, as long as Magoo has a tough time getting his army value through, then like he just crumples to drunk. Like he just completely falls to pieces.
Man, it's funny, if you actually look at Shadow Sonic's army, his stalkers are still 1-1-1.
Where's Shadow?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he sold his
Yeah, look at
Nuggets and just said, okay, like 1-1-1. So I'm not sure what the stalkers
Yeah,
are
he's
good
like
for
he's
anymore.
I'm an air toss now. Forget Stalker.
Yeah, the
Which
goal-
I mean, I don't mind it. I think he kind of needs to focus on air to have any real chance.
well, the Golden Armada is a very strong composition for the Protoss. The issue is that you kind of have to be ahead of the Zerg to be able to pull it off. Because otherwise the Zerg can just keep getting Corruptors and you're never going to push through that.
True. Yeah. And the Corruptor, you know, the Zerg already wants to make them because the Zerg wants them to help cut down some Liberators. So you just, in a sense, you're taking all, like, the Zerg's job just becomes kill air, right? They have like a single focus, just like kill air units, and they just build for that.
And the Corruptors are so cheap as well. It's like 160. That's so freaking cheap. You can get so many Corruptors for each carrier. Once you get to a critical Corruptor count, they start one-shotting the air units.
This is true. Hmm. Yep, you're not wrong.
And like, what can the Protoss do? Get Phoenix for 140? Like, come on.
I know. This is a good point. Let's see what in Thunder's already on 3 armor, so these Corruptor just sit there for days.
I think Phoenix has to be a lot cheaper than it is right now because Phoenix are just absolutely awful.
Yeah, they're not the best unit. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, Protoss's like combat units have never really been Protoss's strength, right? Like the Stalker and like the Adept and all these units are all like pretty medium. it's Protoss Splash. That's like Protos's like real like strength.
Yeah,
Units like Templar, Destructor. Protoss Splash units are pretty nasty.
okay, if
so,
you think of the Protoss, they kind of have like tactical units. It's like Stalkers, you gotta blink, Adepts, you gotta shade somewhere, you know,
yeah.
like pull off some sneaky attack and do some trick.
Yeah, of course.
The Phoenix is none of that. It's supposed to live something, but
Yeah. The Phoenix are tactical if you play ladder and you can run them away. But as a unit that just stands there and fights, nah, not so much.
okay, so we're gonna get a stack going with Magoo and Shadow Sonic. A lot of carriers are still alive, but the anti-armor missile just covers all of Magoo's army, and even all of Magoo's army might just die right here, right now. Half of it at least went down.
Yeah, and Andre's Liberator is still cutting it down, really. Like, it takes him so long to push through the enemy's army. He loses half of his bio to, like, 5 Liberator. Andre doesn't even really have that many Liberator. He just... they just have forever. They just have forever to sit there and shoot. So...
Okay, the BC's from Kachar. Like, he's blinking forward, he's doing Yamato, he's doing all the nice micro shenanigans.
Yeah. He's definitely doing what he needs to.
Yeah, but it's
Or what he could be.
It's 7 gas to 0.
Yeah.
It's 7 gas. They took bunker. They'd have had middle for all game. Like,
Yeah.
the mineral advantage is definitely in the bottom team's favor at this point.
Wave around the 11-minute mark when it seemed like they were really making progress pushing towards mid, but it collapsed. You know, at the time I was like, well, you know, it's only the 11-minute mark, it's fine. But when I said that, I guess what I meant was you have until basically the 14-minute mark. And then, you know, your window starts kind of closing. The enemy teams, like, they just have so much time to build for their new wave, you know. Yeah. Like right now, Drunk has so many Thor that if you were to fight his wave heads up, Magoo might clear him because he's just full bio. But it doesn't matter. Like Drunk's never gonna fight his wave straight up. That's just
and
it's never gonna happen.
even if they somehow magically push, dude, are you telling me Shadow Sonic is gonna be able to clear Thunder Horse's army? There's absolutely no way, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially on Shadow's wave.
Or actually, so look at Andre's army versus Shadow Sonic's army.
Yeah, I know. I think Andre has more Thor than he has Carrier.
Yeah, so like how what is Shadow gonna do against Andre?
You could kick him in the shin and run away.
Like, dude, you would need so many Immortals to be able to clear that amount of Thors. There's absolutely no way. So
yeah.
I think we're already at the end of this game. We're very soon approaching the 25-minute mark where the bottom team is going to be faster, so these BCs and Libs are not going to be able to make it in time, and I think we're going to see very soon the Thors just completely destroy this planetary fortress, and with that, the tournament live of Save the Last Dance for us is going to be over.
Yeah, it's looking that way to me. Yep. But yeah, I'm not sure. This game in particular spiraled out of control pretty quickly, and really the bottom team just didn't give up the advantage. The game before this one, I thought was a spectacular game. I thought both teams were playing really well in circumstances that were maybe a little abnormal, and each side was making the best decisions that they could, and it created a really interesting game. This game was a little more straightforward. There's only so many things that the top team could do to try to stack and come back, and it made the bottom team's game plan for preventing that pretty straightforward, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't wait to ask Thunder Horse what he thinks about the Lurker now.
Yeah, you know, there's a chance. I mean, he probably saw it, but I think that there's like a world where maybe he doesn't even know how good it was. I mean, I imagine there is, considering he opened the very next game on Wave 2 with a Lurker. But you know, who knows?
Yeah, I can't. I literally can't wait to ask him about that, and I think we're gonna have him pretty soon. Andre's army is already approaching. He is, I believe, he is tier 4.
Yeah, Andre is adding many more Liberator now, so he's really gonna cut down on that bio army very quickly. I don't even know what Magoo could do. Like maybe if they had Old Raven, he could sell entirely for Old Raven, but no. It's looking pretty brutal.
Okay, no siege, but the whole army is gonna siege on this planetary fortress. The Marines and Thors do end up attacking the planetary fortress. It goes down. GG is called, and the Mentees take game number 4, and with that, they take the match 3-1.